I'm David Wasmuth, and I'd like you to see some of the work we're doing as Rutgers Environmental Stewards here in Brookdale Park. This we are calling the Indian Spring Restoration Project, because there's a natural spring below here which flows on and off throughout the year. Before we started working on the project, this area was covered with invasive species, mainly mugwort, lots of honeysuckle, burdock. There's also quite a bit of poison ivy here. And the area that you're looking at here below was mostly grass, poison ivy, and deadly nightshade. So what we've done is cleared out the weedy species, and we've been introducing native species which are attractive to pollinators and to birds. Now this was just begun just over a year ago, so this is the first summer, and we're really happy with the progress. You see these beautiful tall cardinal flowers which are attractive to hummingbirds and have the wonderful red color. We also have spread out in various places here. We have swamp milkweed, which of course is the host plant for monarch butterflies, and it's very damp here, so this is a perfect environment for this. We have here a turtlehead, which we have quite a bit around, and it's just starting to bloom this time of year, so this is really the first bloom of it. There is also our native irises. This is versicolor iris, which blooms through May. And you'll also see we have quite a bit of this, which is called monkey flower, which is great for damp areas, and it has these nice little blue flowers that bloom for at least a couple of months. It's been going for 2 months now. Down here we have another damp area, and you see lots more cardinal flower. There's kind of a sweep of the monkey flower in the background, which makes this nice light blue background. We also have some more irises planted in here. Down here you'll see a big planting of swamp milkweed, which is starting to flower seriously with the background of the monkey flower again. And along the bank here you see a ground cover. Along the bank below you see a ground cover we planted, which is Pacara aurea. It's also known as golden groundsel or golden ragwort. So that's basically what's planted in this section of the stream. This is the lower part of the stream bed, and if you look here you'll see there's plastic liner covering quite a bit of space. This was our solution to the problem of the mugwort, which is very hard to get rid of. We didn't want to use chemicals, so we put down the black plastic, and we're leaving it covered with plastic for a year. When the year is up, and that'll be sometime in August or September, we're going to remove the plastic, and we're going to be doing new plantings all through this area. So the space of the plantings will be more or less doubled or tripled. This is the final section of the project. We're down near the end of the stream bed. And you'll see some other plantings here. We have mountain mint, which is extremely attractive to pollinators. It's also, as almost everything we plant here is also deer resistant, because they're resistant because there are quite a lot of deers in the area. We also found space for some more cardinal flowers. We love those cardinal flowers. Down in this area here we have bottled gentian, which in a month or so will have these nice dark blue flowers. There's also, you can see over here is, what's it called? The Golden Alexander, which blooms yellow in the spring, and it's a host plant for black swallowtail butterflies. And then you see a set of turtlehead, which will be blooming quite shortly. Most of the area here and above, almost all of the area that we're planting is fairly shady, at least partial shade, so the plants I'm showing you are selected to be shade tolerant and also to do well in a damp environment. This section of the park a year or so ago was completely shaded out by invasive shrub honeysuckle. So you would just have seen all these tall shrubs in there. So what we've done is we were able to remove most of the honeysuckle. There are a few remnants still up there that we're working on, but basically last year we dug out almost all of the honeysuckle. And that opened up this whole area for planting. And you can see some of the things we've planted. We have this grassy looking plant down here. We put a lot of that in. That's Pennsylvania sedge, which will make a nice border. It's also it's great for butterflies and other insects as a host plant, so we always have that in mind as well. Farther up, you can see in the background blooming echinacea, which we planted in there. It's a great plant for pollinators, nectar and pollen plant. And also the seeds provide food for birds in the fall, especially for goldfinches. There are a lot of things in here that were here in a reduced form before, kind of crowded out by the honeysuckle, but coming back. So you'll see a lot of the plants you see are white wood aster, and we're letting those go because they're quite happy there. We've also, some of the taller plants that you see that are not yet blooming, that's New York aster, and we've planted quite a bit of that. So all of this will be blooming in the fall. It should be quite spectacular. We'll also be adding goldenrod as well for fall color and to support insects, pollinators, and so forth. There's also, we're leaving this area. We didn't plant most of this, but it's mostly a combination of violets and whitewood aster. And we're encouraging the violets as a ground cover, and also because they're a host plant for fritillary butterflies. So we continue up here and you'll see all of the taller stuff is aster. Some of it is New York aster, and some of it is the whitewood aster, which was pre-existing, but we're letting it multiply here. Finally, in this section here, as we uncovered this area, there was stonework all through here, so that's actually quite attractive stone. We're trying to expose it again, but we're also letting violets and other ground covers grow in through the cracks to fill it in. We planted a bit of monarda here, which seems to be doing quite well. And also low on the ground, you'll see stone crop sedum, which is a native sedum that does well in shady areas. Okay, so we're back close to our starting point up here. I'd just like to sum up to say that we've planted since last summer around 1,200 different individual plants and roughly 30 different species of plants. When the weather cools off a bit in September, we're planning to plant quite a bit more in the areas that were covered with plastic to get rid of the mugwort. This is Brookdale Park. It's an Essex County park between Montclair and Bloomfield. And this has been entirely done by volunteers working with the Rutgers Environmental Steward Program, but with great support from the Brookdale Park Conservancy. They've been a wonderful support, and the Northeast Earth Coalition as well. This area is open to the public, so you're free to come and observe it, and you'll see it as it evolves into the fall with the new plantings, and there's something going on here throughout the year, from spring through the fall, and even things for winter interest. So please come and visit.